Hello and a very good afternoon. It's 1 p.m. You're watching Rajya Sabha television. It's time for Verdict 2015. Here are today's verdict headlines. Senior BJP leader and Union Minister Arun Jaitley claims the first three phases have been in the BJP's favour and the trend will sustain through the remaining two phases. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar claims there is no neck-to-neck fight in Bihar. The Grand Alliance will be the clear winner, brushes aside reports of differences with Lalu Yadav. Rahul Gandhi to address three rallies in Bihar today. All three constituencies go to polls in the fifth and final phase. And we throw the spotlight on Gopalganj's power grid. Despite surplus supply of power, villages in North Bihar still remain powerless. Well, the BJP has said it is confident that the first three phases of elections in Bihar have been in its favour and that the trend will continue in the third and the fourth phase as well. Addressing a press conference in Patna, Union Minister and senior BJP leader Arun Jaitley said that the party has a clear lead over its opponents.
हम लोगों का आकलन बड़ा स्पष्ट है कि पहले दोनों राउंड्स में हम लोगों को काफी अच्छी लीड मिलेगी। 81 में से 21 सीट थी हमारी। बहुत ग्राउंड हम कवर अप किए हैं और विरोधी से काफी आगे रहेंगे। और तीसरे में काफी हद तक एक तरफा और चौथे में बहुत बड़ी हद तक एक तरफा पैटर्न चुनाव का होगा।
Meanwhile, Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has claimed that the Bihar election results is a foregone conclusion and that the Grand Alliance is winning hands down. Nitish has also quelled reports of any disagreement with alliance partner and RJD chief Lalu Yadav.
पोलिंग प्रोसेस जो है अब वो तीसरे चरण भी कंप्लीट हो चुका है। आपको अब क्या लगता है, जीत दिख रही है आपको या फिर अभी भी नेक टू नेक है?
नेक टू नेक कहाँ, यहाँ बिहार में कुछ भी नेक टू नेक नहीं होता है। यहाँ डे वन से ऐसी बात नहीं थी। बीजेपी के लोगों ने हवा बनाने की कोशिश की थी और वो हवा बांधने में बहुत उस्ताद है, तो उसके चलते अपने पब्लिसिटी टेक्निक के जरिए वो एक माहौल बनाते हैं। बीजेपी का उतना बड़ा आधार यहाँ नहीं है। लोकसभा के चुनाव में उनको सफलता मिल गई थी, वो वोट का विभाजन हुआ था लालू जी के और हम लोगों के बीच में, उसका सीधा लाभ उनको मिला था। और इस बार पहले दिन से ही किसी प्रकार के वोट में बिखराव नहीं था और जो वोट पिछली बार कई कारणों से उनको मिल गए थे वो उनके साथ अब नहीं है। इसलिए बीजेपी नेक टू नेक फाइट में है, ये बिल्कुल सिर्फ अखबारों में या मीडिया में देखने को मिलती।
आप कह रहे हैं कि लालू यादव के साथ आपने हाथ मिलाया, पर बहुत से लोग कहते हैं कि ये एक आपके लिए एक क्राउन ऑफ थॉर्न्स है, मतलब कि एक मुकुट है कांटों का, तो आप उतार भी नहीं सकते। अब आपने पहन लिया तो कोई खुशी की बात नहीं है। आप
नहीं, ऐसे ही लोग बहुत तरह की बात करते रहते हैं। उसमें से एक बात यह भी है, ये हम लोगों का और लालू जी का जो अलाइनमेंट है, इसको लेकर लोग इसी तरह के कयास लगाते रहते हैं। ये जो कुछ भी है, हम लोगों का बैकग्राउंड एक है, एक स्कूल ऑफ थॉट के, तो ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है।
आप
कांटों का ताज पहनने जा रहे हैं, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं। काफी अंडरस्टैंडिंग है आपस में, और आपने देखा कि जो महागठबंधन है इसमें किसी बात को लेकर कोई विवाद सामने नहीं है।
Well, joining me for a chat right now to talk about this is senior journalist Neeraj Sahai, live from Patna at the moment. Well, Neeraj, thank you for joining me on the program. You know, we saw a very confident-looking Nitish Kumar there speaking to the ANI journalists and saying that, you know, he is extremely confident that his alliance is going to do very well. It's not a neck-and-neck battle between him or rather his alliance as well as the NDA. He seems to be supremely confident at the moment.
Look, Frank, be it Grand Alliance's leader or BJP-led NDA's leader, every leader is talking about their lead, and they all are making tall claims that their alliance is leading, and their alliance will gather maximum votes, and they will succeed in capturing more seats. It looks logical, they have to claim, but the ground reality is that there is neck to neck a very tough battle.
Indeed, the tough battle between the two
In
alliances.
first three phases.
What do you think is going to tip the favor
Yes.
in any one particular alliance? Because we've seen that, it's been neck and neck. It's very difficult for pollsters to predict this election as well. What's going to tip or what's that one factor do you believe that's going to help a particular alliance?
Well, both the alliances have their positivity. For UPA, it's a test for new grouping, and for BJP-led NDA, it's a test of continuation of Narendra Modi's popularity, whether it is the momentum is the same as it was in Lok Sabha election. The other factor that goes for BJP-led NDA is that two big Dalit faces are with them, while the positive side of UPA is that the consolidation of caste, that is Yadav's consolidation and Lalu's popular formula of Muslim Yadav combined, it seems it's intact.
Before the election started,
main things that will.
Indeed. Before the election started, there was much talk about the third front. There was talk about how maybe the BSP could have an impact, especially in the constituencies bordering Uttar Pradesh. But now, all of a sudden, no one's talking about any of these other parties. It's only about, the bipolar contest between the Grand Alliance and the NDA. So can all these other parties then be written off, or have they already been written off?
I don't think BSP, Bahujan Samaj Party, has any effect in whole of Bihar. The UP bordering districts like Kaimur, Bhabua, etc., they have a little following, but in total Bihar, they are not going to have any impact. And as far as third front is concerned, it's already broken. With the National Congress Party is out of it. Even Samras Samaj Party and former Union Minister Nagmani is also out of it. The fourth phase will determine, that is in Kosi sector, where Pappu Yadav, the Jan Adhikar Party's leader, Pappu Yadav MP, he can impact a bit, while Simanchal area can be seen as the other area where Owaisi can impact, but a bit. They are fighting only on 6 seats. The major impacting personality is Pappu Yadav in Kosi area, and
Right.
NCP's Tariq Anwar can have some impact in Katihar region.
All right, well, do stay with us, Neeraj. I'm going to come back to you for another reaction on the other side of this short break. But for now, we'll slip into a break. Much more lined up for you on the other side. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hottest topics.
If you can facilitate the opening up and the expansion of the international border trade, you can add to the economy.
370 धारा जो है वो जम्मू कश्मीर को मुल्क के साथ जोड़े रखती है.
Candid confessions.
The Congress has not been able to communicate.
We have to revive our links with the masses.
World-class healthcare is available to only a handful of people in this country.
Causing controversies.
A lot of leaders today think that they rule by divine right.
Now, media has become manageable.
Watch RSTV engage personalities to the point. Every Wednesday, 10 p.m., Thursday, 1:30 and 5:30 p.m.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha Television. Well, over 53% of the 1.45 crore eligible voters cast their vote in the third phase of polling held on Wednesday. Prominent candidates included two sons of Rashtriya Janata Dal Chief Lalu Prasad, who contested from Raghopur and Mahua constituencies of Vaishali district. No untoward incident was reported. Here are the details. Voting for the third phase of elections in Bihar began at 7 a.m. in the morning. The fate of 808 candidates in 50 constituencies spread over 6 districts was sealed earlier on Wednesday. The districts that went to polls are Bhojpur, Buxar, Nalanda, Patna, Saran and Vaishali.
दाम कम चाहिए, बहुत महंगाई हो रहा है तो घर चलाने में दिक्कत हो रहा है, इसीलिए दाम कम होना चाहिए।
मुद्दे तो हम बताए आपसे कि नौजवानों को कुछ ये होना चाहिए कि नौकरी मिले, जो ऐसे भटक रहे हैं, तो ये मुद्दा रहना चाहिए खास के, और महंगाई है उसको कम होना चाहिए, मेन तो यही है।
Voting began at 7 a.m. in 14,170 polling stations. The polling came to an end at 4 p.m. in 10 constituencies due to security reasons and at 5 p.m. in the rest of the 40 constituencies. After peaceful polling in the first two phases, no untoward incident was reported in this phase either.
जो 6 जिले सारण, वैशाली, नालंदा, पटना, भोजपुर और बक्सर के 50 विधानसभा क्षेत्रों के लिए संपन्न हुआ, उसमें ये पूर्ण रूप से शांतिपूर्ण तरीके से समाप्त हुआ।
Let's take a look now at some of the crucial numbers of the third phase. A total of 50 constituencies went to polls in the third phase. 808 candidates were in the fray in this phase, out of which 71 or 9% were female candidates. A total of 14,170 polling stations were used. 1.45 crore people were eligible to cast their vote in the third phase, out of which 78,31,388 were male, 66,86,718 were female voters and 599 others. The fate of several heavyweights was sealed in this phase, including that of Lalu Prasad's two sons Tej Pratap Yadav and Tejasvi Yadav, contesting from Mahua and Raghopur seats respectively.
पूरा महागठबंधन बिहार के पांचों चरण में स्वीप कर रहा है। इसमें भाजपा खास करके नरेंद्र मोदी जी लगातार कमल कार्ड खेल रहे हैं।
I don't think so. There is a battle. It's now just the formality is just left over there, or it's actually in my constituency, BJP didn't got any of the candidates against me. Not a perfect candidate. So they have taken a JDU's MLA for the last time, and they have taken it them.
भाई तो मेरे दोनों जीत रहे हैं और महागठबंधन के जितने भी उम्मीदवार हैं उनके सबके जीत की कामना मैं करती हूँ।
The other prominent politicians whose fate was decided in this round were BJP leader Nandkishore Yadav from Patna Sahib, Ministers Shyam Rajak and Shravan Kumar from Pulwari and Nalanda seats respectively, Deputy Speaker Amrendra Pratap Singh from Ara and BJP's Chief Whip in the State Assembly Arun Kumar Sinha from Kumrar.
मैंने अपना वोट डाल दिया है और वोट डालने के लिए हम यहाँ आए हैं और वोट डालने के बाद हम आगे के चुनाव प्रचार में निकल रहे हैं। सभी मतदाताओं को अपना वोट
ने हमारा हिसाब से पूरी बिहार में पांचों चरण में बीजेपी आगे रहेगा। कारण क्या है, लोगों में एक परिवर्तन का इच्छा है।
Apart from the heavyweights in the fray, there were several other bigwigs who cast their vote, including Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, BJP leader Sushil Modi, and Union Ministers Ravi Shankar Prasad and Rajiv Pratap Rudy, among others.
प्रथम और द्वितीय चरण था, उसमें हम 2/3 की बहुमत से हमारा लीड है और ये तीसरे चरण में मेरा विश्वास है कि ये 3/4 की बहुमत तक जाएगा और हर हालत में बिहार में सरकार बनाएंगे। ममता जी आ जाएं, अरविंद केजरीवाल आ जाएं, कोई अपील कर, इनकी अपील का कोई असर नहीं पड़ने वाला है।
कि अपने नेताओं से फील्ड में चर्चा करने के बाद और अपने इंडिपेंडेंट सोर्स से वेरीफाई करने के बाद जो हमारा निष्कर्ष है वो ये है कि आज का दिन हमारे लिए बहुत ही उत्साहवर्धक रहा है। फर्स्ट सेकंड फेज भी हमारे लिए बहुत अच्छा रहा है।
In the last assembly poll in 2010, the JDU had won 23 seats while the BJP had won 19 of the 50 constituencies. This time around, from the Grand Secular Alliance, RJD contested from 25 seats, JDU 18 and Congress 7. From NDA, BJP contested from 34, LJP 10, Hindustani Awam Morcha 4 and Rashtriya Lok Samta Party 2. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television. Well, still with me on the program to talk about the third phase of polling is Neeraj Sahai, senior journalist from Bihar. Well, Neeraj, as far as the third phase of polling is concerned, we saw 53% voter turnout, higher, of course, than what we saw in 2010. About 51% of polling was recorded then, but not a very significant jump as far as voter turnout is concerned. But how do you read everything that took place yesterday in the third phase of polling?
Well, yesterday's third phase polling was has seen one thing, that the continuation of women participation in polling, it shows continuous jump. They again took lead as far as in comparison to male voters, and that's a welcome step. They came out of their homes, leaving their kitchens, casted their vote, left every domestic work for 1 or 2 hours. They participated. That can be said to be an embarrassment for male voters of Bihar. And the other thing which I noticed is that the people of third phase, especially of Bihar, Patna, state capital Patna district's voters showed less enthusiasm, though in comparison to 2010 total votes polled, it showed a slight rise, but in toto, the Patna district showed least participation as far as all the 6 districts are concerned.
Indeed. All right. We'll have to leave to that. Neeraj Sahai, thank you so much for joining us on the program and putting things into perspective for us. Moving on now, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi will resume campaigning for the Grand Alliance with 3 election rallies in Bihar today. The third phase of elections were held on Wednesday with 53% overall voting registered. Rahul will address rallies in Benipatti in Madhubani district, Kishanganj and Pranpur in Katihar. Voting in these places will take place in the 5th and final phase of elections on November 5th. After the third phase of polls ended on Wednesday, voting in 112 more seats remains out of the total 243 seats in the next 2 phases of polling. AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi was arrested on charges of violating the Model Code of Conduct in the Bihar elections. He was later released on bail. The incident took place in Purnia district on Wednesday, where Owaisi was allegedly making an election speech at a religious place. Owaisi was arrested from the spot and booked for holding a public meeting without getting prior permission. Owaisi, however, denied that he had gone to the place for canvassing and claimed he went there only to offer prayers and not for campaigning. The AIMIM president was later released on bail on a personal bond of 10,000 rupees after spending about an hour at the police station. The AIMIM leader was on a visit to Purnia district to campaign for his party's candidate from Baisi Assembly constituency. It's time for a short break now, but we'll be back with a few ground reports on the other side to tell you exactly what's happening on the ground in Bihar. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Get live Rajya Sabha session. News, views, reports and analysis you can trust on social media. Subscribe, follow, like Rajya Sabha Television.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha Television. Well, Jiradev Gaon in Siwan district has an illustrious association with history. It's the birthplace of one of the leading figures of India's freedom struggle. But so far, the village hasn't benefited from it. The villagers are hoping that this election will change all of that. Here's more.
This is the ancestral home of India's first president. Dr. Rajendra Prasad was born in this very house and lived for a considerable time even after he became president. Today, it's a national monument, a place of inspiration for visitors.
बहुत गौरव की बात है कि भारत के प्रथम राष्ट्रपति डॉक्टर राजेंद्र प्रसाद का जन्म स्थल पर मेरा भी जन्म हुआ है और मुझे खुशी होती है। महाराज के राजनेताओं को इनके आदर्शों और मूल्यों को आत्मसात नहीं करते, बड़ी दुख की बात है।
Despite its historical importance, the village of around 10,000 people has not seen any extraordinary development. Farmers hold the government responsible for the worst irrigation system in the village. Equally bad are education, health and roads.
यह राजेंद्र बाबू का इलाका आज भी क्षमा करेंगे, अपनी मूलभूत सुविधाओं से वंचित है।
The village comes under the Siwan constituency. Its MP Om Prakash Yadav has taken up the responsibility of developing the village.
अपने सांसद विकास मद से हमने 115 सोलर देने का काम किए हैं। कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि उस गांव को विकास किया जाए और वहां 100% तो नहीं कहेंगे, लेकिन 90-95% हमने शौचालय बनाने का काम किया है।
Villagers feel successive governments have not done justice to the place that gave the nation such a great leader. They hope the next government will change the state of affairs and work for its betterment. Ravindra Shoran's report from Zardai in Bihar for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, electricity shortage is a common complaint one hears during campaigning in Bihar. But the problem in some parts of North Bihar is different. Despite having a healthy power supply, electricity just doesn't reach the consumers. Our report explains why.
State government data shows that the Gopalganj grid gets 200 megawatts from the Kanti thermal power station. Of this supply, the grid provides Gopalganj 45 megawatts, Siwan 40 megawatts and Mashrak 15 megawatts. Betia, Raxaul, Valmiki Nagar and Nepal are given 90 megawatts. That accounts for only 190 megawatts. But despite the surplus, many villages in North Bihar still remain powerless.
पहले के स्थिति के अपेक्षा अभी तो अच्छा बिजली मिल रहा है। अभी टाउन को 18 से 20-22 मेगावाट तक बिजली मिल जा रहा है और देहात को अभी 14-16 घंटा मिलता है।
Gopalganj has at least 12 power stations, of which 8 are located in rural areas. But tottering power poles and weak cables are preventing supply reaching many areas, even cities.
गांव के में बिजली की स्थिति अच्छी नहीं है। अभी भी गांव में बिजली नहीं मिलती है। कभी बिजली आती है और थोड़ा दिखाकर फिर चली जाती है। कभी कभी किसी दिन 1 घंटा 2 घंटा रहती है, लेकिन वो भी लगता है 2 घंटा नहीं रहती है।
कभी भी बराबर लाइन नहीं रहता है और हमेशा कभी डिम रहता है, कभी एकदम अगरबत्ती की तरह जलता है और बिजली बिल हमेशा आता रहता है।
Residents in electricity-starved villages claim that politicians are getting away with broken promises.
माननीय मुख्यमंत्री नीतीश कुमार जी ने जो घोषणा किया था, जो वादा किया था, आज अपने वादे पर खरे हैं और जो बिजली की समस्या है, शहरों में 18 से 20 और 22 घंटा बिजली आम ग्रामीणों को मिल रही है और देहात में 14 से 16 घंटा बिजली ग्रामीणों को मिल रही है।
देखिए, इस चुनाव में बिजली का मुद्दा बनेगा। जो भी हम आए, हमें कम से कम 24 घंटा पावर दे। जो हमें आज 16 घंटा मिल रहा है, वो हमको 24 घंटा मिले।
A problem of plenty if only political parties find a way to bring the supply to the consumer. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, modern-day Champaran is divided into East and West districts. West Champaran has 9 assembly seats. In the last assembly elections, the NDA won 4 seats, while the JDU took 2. Let's take a look at what are the major issues here.
North Bihar's Champaran district is where India discovered the might of Satyagrah. That was in 1917 when Mahatma Gandhi led impoverished farmers who were forced to cultivate indigo instead of food.
आज स्थिति ये है कि जो किसानों के लिए उन्होंने सुविधाएं उपलब्ध किया, तो उसमें आज देखिए हम लोग यहाँ गन्ने की खेती बड़े अच्छे ढंग से होती थी। यहाँ पर 7-8 शुगर फैक्ट्री थे, बंद हो, हमारे जिले के सारे शुगर फैक्ट्री बंद हो गए। एक सुगौली किसी तरह से चलता है।
The state was split into East and West Champaran 44 years ago. But in the race for development, both districts are equally lagging behind. In modern India as well, Champaran's farmers, it seems, are unable to escape poverty.
दूर भाग रहे हैं, धीरे धीरे बाहर जाके अपना कमाना, खेती छोड़ रहे हैं। बहुत सा खेत परित भी रह जाता है। हम भी तो छोड़ने वाले हैं। समझिए कि अबर भर है, बाकी छोड़ ही देंगे।
हम लोग के बच्चों के धान में कोई वृद्धि नहीं है, न पानी है, न खाद है, सब चीज़ महंगे है। अब क्या करें, हम लोग मजबूर हो रहे हैं, इसलिए नहीं धान फूट रहा है पानी के कारण। अब हम लोग की हिम्मत हार रहा है।
Amid the struggle to acquire prosperity, farmers of Champaran will be voting in the fourth phase on 1st of November. A combined 10 lakh population of both districts will be hoping their vote will be for the development and growth. Ravinder Shoran's report from Champaran for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, that's it on this edition of Verdict 2015. Have a good day.